Hi, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Amy.
And this is a Girls in Marketing podcast. Every week, we release a new episode that you won't want to miss. Our guests are industry experts with amazing experiences, so you'll always come away with new nuggets of wisdom. From educational and inspiring episodes covering the latest in digital marketing to casual and fun chats with the Girls in Marketing team, unpacking marketing myths and trends, we've got it all.
Here at Girls in Marketing, we're all about empowering and supporting women to be the best marketers they can be through our online learning platform and community. Check out our resources and membership to get involved, as we'd love to welcome you to our inner circle.
Right, let's dive into an episode together. Hello and welcome back to the Girls in Marketing podcast. Today we're bringing you a brand new snack episode and we're going to be chatting all about, is social media making us more or less social? I think as marketers, this is something we've just got to discuss because I'm sure there's plenty of people listening who think, you know, it's making us more social, less social. Obviously, some marketing is related to social media. You know, it's within the discipline. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about it today because it's just an interesting topic, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if anyone out there is worried about the screen time, they just need to look at my phone because my screen time is so bad. And it's something that I've tried, like not even social, it's not all social, which is good, I guess. Yeah. But it's also just like, why am I spending 7 hours a day on my phone? Like, it's ridiculous.
7?
Yeah. Yeah, my average is 7.
Are you joking?
I was just about to say, what's your average screen time?
My weekly total when I looked was 7. 7
no,
a day, Kira.
But disclaimer, I do live alone, so I feel like that's my excuse.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And it's not all social. But yeah, I feel... No, don't laugh at me because that makes me feel really
Sorry,
bad
it's just
about
making
it.
me feel better. It's fine.
Make sure everyone shares their screen time as well on social media with us because that...
On social media. Spend time on social, telling us your screen time.
No, so what's your social, right, have a look now. What is your social screen time for today then? So mine, so on iPhone, not sponsored by the way, social, WhatsApp does come under social. So mine for today, so it's currently just before 5 o'clock for clarification for everyone. My screen time is 1 hour and 20 minutes for social specifically. It's 2 hours in total, 1 hour 21 for social, and then 28 minutes of that is WhatsApp. So my top two are Instagram, which is 23 minutes, and TikTok, which is 15 minutes at the moment today.
Yeah, my social for today is 1 hour 11. And my top is Instagram, and then WhatsApp's in there as well. TikTok's not because I have deleted TikTok for a little while. Me and TikTok having a bit of a break.
Yeah, that's good. I
It's just me good to do that every now and then because I love TikTok. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love TikTok. I just have a bit of a... Yeah, it's the only one really that I get quite addicted to. So I just need to have it. Yeah, I need to go cold turkey sometimes, and I'm going through that right now.
So my screen time for today...
Go on.
For social or in general?
In general is just under 4 hours.
Okay.
But I did get up for social, it's 1 hour 50.
That's
and
okay.
I did get up at 7 o'clock and an hour of it is YouTube. So
I just feel like this is justification.
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
I feel like it's justification.
But yeah, no, I do. But yeah, I feel like my screen time though, when I watch YouTube videos, like, I feel like when you're getting ready and stuff, watching YouTube videos, like it classes as screen time, doesn't it? So
do
need
you
to use my iPad more.
Yeah, why? Just so that you can put the screen time onto the iPad and just share it out. Okay, fair enough. I mean, if that loophole works for you, that's fine.
Why did I just say that?
Don't know. Just funny logic. We love it. So do you think then that your use of social is making you more or less social? Do you consider your use of social media to be like, so, because it's not socializing, is it? Unless you spend all of your time on social media chatting on like Messenger and stuff, then it's actually not that social. Like, you're keeping up with stuff that people are doing, but you're not socializing. Unless you're like chatting in Facebook groups or like, you know, messaging people on Instagram or whatever. But like, do you think it's made you more or less social? Like maybe IRL?
Probably less, because I feel like when I'm actually socializing in like IRL, I'm not on social, like I'm not really on social media, so it's like And like you say, when I'm on social media, I'm scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Like I'm not like directly talking to people all the time. So it's all them hours that you spend on social media isn't talking to people all the time, is it? It's just for me, it's just a pastime. It feels like it's just, what's it called, like passive scrolling, isn't it? Like you just it's just time wasted.
And if someone asked you what have you actually looked at in the past 30 minutes, you'd be like, I have no idea.
Yeah, you couldn't say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes people more social, but I feel like potentially it makes people feel connected. I don't know if that, I know people use those words interchangeably, but if we throw it back a little minute to the start of the pandemic, I know I've dreaded words, I feel like after when everything happened and, you know, we went into lockdown and stuff like that, people turned to social media, online, you know, communities, stuff like that to find connection. And I think that I felt very connected to like people online, and I still do now, you know, with everything that we do, and even just like I've met friends through, you know, social media and stuff like that. So I don't know if social media makes me feel more or less social, but it definitely makes me feel connected, but equally can also make me feel disconnected in some aspects.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me it's a mix as well, because I think sometimes, and I think it depends on your friends. I think that's the caveat. It depends on the type of friends you've got, because some people will just stay connected with you offline regardless. But I think definitely it can have an impact on friendships sometimes if I think people just assume that like because they share things online that like that's them sharing things with their friends and family and stuff. And I think that sometimes, it results in maybe you not checking in with friends as much, because it's like you can kind of see what they're up to and see what they're doing, and you'll like drop a like and a comment here and there, but it's not necessarily that conversation that you maybe used to have, and you don't maybe make those efforts as often to meet up in person maybe and stuff like that. And I think also something that you said before, Kira, which I think is good, and I know that obviously you don't do this, but like obviously your screen time is quite high, but when you're IRL, you're not sitting there scrolling on your phone. But I think that's something that's potentially made people less social, in that even when people are in like real life situations now actually socializing, like this still, because it's almost like a habit, they still have a tendency to like scroll on social media even when they're with people, like a fear of missing out on what's going on online while they're with friends. And I think that can make people less sociable
100%.
Because I find that so frustrating when you make the effort to meet people in person and then they're still looking on social media on the phone, and it's like, but we're here right now, like what could you be missing out on?
And I think as well, like it comes into that people just doing things for social media, people like playing into that social media. So like, I don't know, like I've had friends before that have like gone out to do a certain thing just so they can like post it on Instagram, or just so we'll go here just so like we can post about it or whatever. Like I just I feel like I'm just like, no, like I'd rather just do it and not post. Like I don't have to post everything, so it's like
I don't want to put makeup on, so can we not post about it?
Don't get me in that picture. I feel like it comes back to that fear of missing out as well. Like that's what social media has kind of created, hasn't it? And I feel like that was before the pandemic, but I feel like after the pandemic, it's kind of got even worse and worse. I know for me it has anyway. And I know I definitely do feel like FOMO sometimes on social media, like not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
I think as well, like with social media, it's called social media, but it also doesn't feel that social sometimes because it feels quite forced. Like I feel probably for the last year or so, I actively like don't engage as much as I used to in terms of like personal consumption, because I feel like if I'm not bothered about something, I'm not going to fake it. You know, I made this pact to myself actually. It was a few years ago now where I said, obviously when you're in school, like I feel like it used to be a trend to add everyone on Facebook, wasn't it? Where it's just like, just add everyone on Facebook, no matter like, you know, whatever. And I'm sure it was the same with like Instagram for a bit as well. And I made a pact with myself and I said, if I walk past someone in the street and I have them on Facebook, but they don't actively like, you know, smile at me or at least like acknowledge me, I'll like delete them. Because I feel like we're conditioned to think, oh, we've got to have like these people, and these people are bothered, and these people, you know, just because they know me, it means, you know, whatever. And I just think like there's just no point. Like, you know, and there was plenty of people that you'd like walk past in the street and like they wouldn't even acknowledge her. And I was thinking, I'm not sure about this. So I feel like it seems like it's more social, but actually it's less, because why follow someone or, you know, have a friend, be friends with someone on Facebook if they're not actually going to be social with you in real life?
Well, exactly.
It's mad.
Yeah. And I think one of the best things kind of from social media that I know we've talked about in like a previous episode where we talked a bit about kind of like community and stuff like that. One of the real social sides, I think, of social media is where you can get involved in like community things, you know, whether it's like being involved in groups or getting, you know, following a page that's, you know, for people who have a shared interest in a particular thing, and like you can get involved in like meeting people through even just through the comments and stuff like that. I think that's a great way of being social, you know, finding interests and things that you can explore on social media there. So I think there are social sides of it, aren't there? But I agree with you. Like, I think it's just one of them. Like, yeah, if it's someone that you wouldn't bother to maintain a friendship with, it's like you feel validated by having a higher number of people who are like connections or, you know, kind of followers or whatever. But it's just like, what does it really mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. When I was in like sixth form, I did a project actually on like the rising use of social media, like correlating with the rise in like mental health problems in the UK. And it was such an interesting project because it was like, it was so interesting to see whether it did correlate and whether there was a connection there. And I think sometimes it's not as like explicit how much the effect of social media and who you follow does have on you. But I think when you actually like drill down to like kind of bring like the subconscious to the conscious, like I feel like when you actually do think about it and think about how you feel, like it does have an effect. And I think everyone compares themselves to everyone. Like that's just like human nature, isn't it? So it's like,
yeah,
I think it definitely does have an impact, whether that's kind of conscious or subconscious.
Yeah,
I think it's that element of social media just being a massive like book of people's wins, and it's, you know, people only ever really post on social media, and I'm sure we're all guilty of it
100%.
when there's like a win, you know, when you've done something, you know, won something or something's happened or whatever, and we post about it. And I think that in turn just makes you compare yourself, which then makes you feel like less social, because it's a bit like, I'm using social media but I'm comparing myself to all of these people. And especially I think the industry that we're in within marketing, and, you know, the industry that our community is in, we see a lot of people on LinkedIn, you know, we see all of these people doing amazing things and all of that, but you don't see, you know, the hard work that's gone into it or the journey that's happened behind it. And I feel like that for so many people is hard, because you want it to be an element of social, but actually, is it? Like it's such a difficult thing. But with that being said, I have met some amazing people on social media that have become friends, you know, from that. So I think that in turn has made me more social, more connected, you know, to people.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think
it's
about
really
the way
weird
you use it, isn't it? Definitely. I think it's just knowing yourself, what effect it has on you personally. I mean, what you mentioned about mental health, I definitely notice a correlation between my use of social media and my own mental health. Like if my mental health is not in a great place, my use of social media goes up, because it's like a coping thing. It's just like a distraction, and vice versa. If my use of social media is through the roof, generally it has a knock-on effect on my mental health.
An effect.
Exactly. So you kind of, you see that when one's up, the other one's down, and that's kind of how it goes for me. But I think if you use it in a way that you know feels right for you, it can fit into your life and make you more social. It's just about getting that right balance for you as a person, isn't it? Definitely.
No, definitely. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of the Girls in Marketing podcast. We love hearing from you, so if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review to let us know your thoughts, and make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button to be the first to hear when our new episodes released. Don't forget, if you want to get involved with Girls in Marketing, check out our membership to join our incredible community of marketers. Think marketing resources, courses, webinars, and more. Find out more on our website or drop us a message on any of our social channels @Girls in Marketing.